In the past few years of my life, a lot has happened. I've built a social media following of just under 3 million people across all my social media platforms. I've traveled to multiple different countries. I've had my family house burned down. I've moved into my dream apartment. I've even started to see my hairline recede. So quite a lot has happened and quite a lot has changed. And over these past few years, I've gained some extremely valuable lessons that I wish somebody would have told me sooner so I didn't have to wait to learn them, that I could just get them right away. Which is why today I've compiled 8 extremely valuable lessons I wish somebody would have told me sooner, so that hopefully if you guys listen and you implement some of these things, maybe it can change your life as well. So the first lesson is question all of your beliefs. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a really easy example, but you wanna apply these same things to all of the other beliefs as well. So let's just use what is the definition of success as an example. For 99% of us, and I was guilty of this as well, when I thought of the successful life, I thought of mansions, supercars, women, luxury travel, shopping sprees, right? A lot of us think that that's what success really is. And it's easy to believe that because that is what social media glamorizes. But is that actually what success means to you? Maybe success isn't any of those things. Maybe success is just being able to wake up every single day and truly enjoy what you're doing, genuinely have interest in what you're doing. Maybe it's you're a father and a successful life to you is raising kids that you can actually be proud of. Maybe success to you is just actually giving yourself up to God and fully accepting Him into your life. Maybe success is just being able to be yourself. You're not having to put on a facade. You are extremely genuine and authentic. Maybe that is what success is. So the main point is to align yourself with your own thoughts and your own definitions. You don't want to end up going through life believing something just to waste a bunch of time trying to go and chase those things, and then you finally end up getting there and it just leaves you completely empty and unfulfilled. So always question what you believe. Second lesson, be kind and generous to everyone you meet. Now this seems like it is so common sense, but I promise you 99% of people walk around so fucking selfish. They don't care about anybody else but themselves. They don't bother to remember people's names.
I am always forgetting people's names.
They don't ask people how they're actually doing. They don't give genuine compliments. They don't do that. 99% of people don't do that. So when you are genuinely interested in somebody else, you ask them questions, you give them genuine compliments, you remember their names. This amazing thing happens because it is so rare. All of a sudden, they're like, I really like this guy. I'm gonna start doing things for this guy because I like him. All of a sudden, you're getting reservations at restaurants that are fully booked. The tailor's getting your clothes done before anybody else's, even though they came before you. You're going to the fast food restaurant, they're putting more food on yours than anybody else's. Concierge downstairs is coming all the way up to your door to hand deliver packages. These are experiences that I've had just from being kind, generous, and genuine person and being interested in other people. It's an amazing thing that happens, and you don't do it for that reason. You just do it because that's a good thing to do, to be a kind person. But you get all of these benefits from doing it. You will never experience anything negative from being a more kind and generous person. Lesson number 3, 99% of people will not believe in you unless they have done something extraordinary themselves. Don't expect people to believe in you, guys. When you go and you say you want to do something that most people have never done, they've never even thought of doing before, they're not going to believe in you, and they're most likely going to say something negative because it's this weird self-projection thing that happens. Because they personally don't believe that they would be able to achieve it themselves, they say you won't be able to do it. But it's just this projection. It's their own insecurity. It actually has nothing to do with you. Like I said, it's them actually thinking that they couldn't do it themselves, that they're gonna say, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, man. That's so unrealistic. So the main point of this lesson is do not tell anybody about your ideas. Don't tell anyone unless they have either done it themselves or have done something extraordinary themselves as well, because only they will understand that anything is actually possible if you give it enough effort, enough focus, and you find the right people. Lesson number 4 is health needs to be a #1 priority over everything. Let's take Dana White for an example, the president of the UFC. From an outside perspective, like we were talking about earlier with the success thing, you would think that this guy has absolutely everything. He is a massive company, billionaire. He's obviously got lots of nice cars and homes, and he gets lots of women as well. So Dana wanted to check out his health one time. So he reached out to a guy named Gary Brecka, who's a very popular guy in the health industry. And Gary took Dana's blood and analyzed his blood. And from analyzing Dana's blood, he told Dana that he only has 10.4 more years to live in his life.
Sat down for 3 hours and told me every single thing that was wrong with me.
Dana was 52 years old at the time, so that would bring him up to 62 years old. You think for a millisecond Dana was thinking about all of his accolades, the money he's earned, the fame, the status. There's not a fucking chance he was. He was just thinking, holy crap, I have 10.4 years to live. I'm only living until I'm 62. And what I find a lot of people do, including myself, is we start to get lazy on our health when we start to achieve more. You start to gain some momentum in your career and you crave that more and more. So rather than cooking a healthy meal at home, you start ordering Uber Eats because you're too lazy to cook. You want to spend all the time working, or you stop going to the gym as often because you want to get in a few extra hours of work. And you're like, an hour and a half at the gym, I could trade that for working and I could be more productive. And what we need to remember that when we're doing this, we're actually preventing ourselves from operating at the highest level. You're more tired, you can't think as clearly, and eventually you do it for so long that you have some serious health problems like Dana.
I couldn't bend over to put my socks on because my legs were so screwed up. I would wake up in the middle of the night and throw up almost every night.
There's this extremely popular quote from Confucius, and it goes like this: a healthy man wants 1,000 things, a sick man only wants one. Once you're sick, there's nothing more that you want than just to be healthy again. So remember that when you decide that you want to eat unhealthy, you want to skip the gym, just remember, health is the most important. You can't achieve much if you're dead. Lesson number 5, the nuances of life will typically be the best lessons, will make you the strongest, and are going to be the most memorable. So like I said at the beginning, my house had burnt down this year. So this is a great example of how there can be beautiful lessons that come out of a terrible situation. So my house, to give you guys backstory, was burnt down because of my neighbor's hot tub. It ended up taking down both of our houses. Wasn't even our fault, and now our insurance company is really screwing us over as well. So it has not been an enjoyable experience on that end. But one of the most beautiful lessons that came out of it was I realized how little materialistic possessions matter at all. The only thing that mattered after my house burnt down was my family, my friends, and my community. The other lesson that I learned was it actually restored my faith in humanity. We had so much help from neighbors, from people we didn't even know were donating to help us. It was this beautiful experience that I guess even myself didn't think like anybody would do that for us, and it was a really eye-opening experience. I'm like, wow, people are actually really good still. And so my story is a very extreme circumstance, but this goes for any experience that you're having, that you're struggling with, because most of the time you're going to look back at it, you're going to say, wow, there are a lot of beautiful lessons that I learned there. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm glad that it happened. Or I can't believe at the time I even cared about that situation, because you've moved past it, which you always do. It's just not a big deal anymore, but it builds your character and it makes you stronger. Now, after going through a house fire, of course I don't want to go through one again, but if I were to go through one again, I wouldn't be nearly as bad off as somebody who's having their house burned down for the first time. So you build strength through the tough times, guys. Lesson number 6, you need to be more urgent. Time is not going any slower. We are only getting older. We're only getting closer to death every single day. As Gary Vee says, you're gonna die one day.
You're gonna die.
It's inevitable for all of us. And I see this so much with a lot of my friends, with my brother's friends, even with myself at times, where I don't have that sense of urgency and I just get into the analysis paralysis. I'm like, oh, maybe I would like that. Maybe that is what I want. But then you don't end up trying it, or you eventually end up trying it and you regret it because you wish you would have started when you had actually thought about it. So as soon as you think you might even be slightly interested in something, you need to go out and try. You need to be curious. So many people say, I don't know what I want to do. And they've tried one or two things within their lives and they're like, I'm stuck. It's like, dude, you haven't tried anything. How are you supposed to know what you want to do? So as soon as you have that thought, you need to go out and try it. Obviously, the person that goes out and tries things the quickest is the one who's going to get the results the quickest. The 7th lesson is allow yourself to have humility. I used to have an enormous ego, and the ego is still there. I don't know if it's possible to fully remove it, but we can always lessen our ego. And one of the most beautiful things about being a human being is to have humility, because we're all imperfect. The only person that's perfect is God. And our ego gets in the way of so many beautiful lessons because we always think we know what is best for ourselves. So there's 3 things that happen when you start to lessen or remove your ego. The first thing that happens is you start to learn more because you actually listen and you're more open-minded to learning. Second thing, you will connect with people easier. I'm not super smart by any means, guys. I'm not intelligent. My IQ is probably extremely average. My maths are terrible. My spelling is atrocious. It takes humility to say that, but by saying something like that, a few of you have probably just connected with me because you feel the same way about yourself. And the third thing that happens is you become more authentic because you're less concerned with keeping this facade up. You can truly be yourself because there's no ego there. You're not trying to impress anybody anymore. You are who you are. And it allows you to focus on having more genuine conversations and genuine relationships with people. And it allows you to be more critical with your self-improvement because you're being honest with yourself. And I won't take credit for this because I saw this in a YouTube comment section one time. And it said, one of the single greatest sources of wisdom is realizing how little you actually know about everything. And that is so true. And the 8th lesson is anything is actually possible. I'm at the point now, dude, where you could literally tell me anything and I would believe that is possible for you. 99% of people could listen to what you'd say and they would say that is impossible. That is never going to happen in a million years. And I would say if you put in enough focus, you actually believe that you can do it yourself and you get the right people to help you, that it is possible. There has always been somebody that has done something that people said was impossible. Planes, Wi-Fi, electricity. We have all of these examples in front of us, yet we still doubt ourselves. And the reason I have this belief that anything is possible is because I've started to do it for myself. At one point in time, I didn't think that being a YouTuber was like very realistic for myself until I started actually putting in 100% effort. And it comes with the achievements of doing the things that you didn't think were possible. And then your brain starts to realize there's so much opportunity. And it's like you start to gain so much self-belief and you realize that there's literally nothing I can't do. I can do anything as long as I put in 100% effort. And I truly believe that I can do it. You will achieve it. It's only a matter of time. So if you guys feel right now that there's nobody that believes in you, I believe in you. I know that you can do it. I know that you can literally do anything that you put your mind to. As long as you're honest with yourself and you're putting in 100% effort, it's only a matter of time for it to happen for you. So I hope this video helped you guys. I really do hope that some of these lessons are going to improve your life. And if you guys enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate a like and a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.